Well, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson, and we are here for another episode of the Nurse Entrepreneur Spotlight. So, super excited to connect with you today. We have Kara Johnson with us, who is a nurse in Alaska, and we're going to be chatting with her about her business. She is the mom nurse, and she also does some work in nurse blogging and different things. So, we're going to chat all about her business, but as you pop in today, please feel free to say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you catch us on the replay, comment #replay, because I do love to know that you stopped by. Thanks for being here. Well, Kara, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been fun to be on the spotlight.
You betcha.
Although I don't love spotlights, but this is a fun one.
Don't be nervous. It's okay. Oh, gosh. Well, and the funny thing is, we did an interview last fall. And I think one of the things I loved about that interview was, your little guy, your little boy was so small. And he actually got a little fussy, I think, during that interview. And he just wanted to be held. And it was the sweetest thing that you did the entire interview.
With him in my
lap. Yeah.
I know. I remember that this time. I'm like, we got a babysitter this time. He's almost one now. So I'm like, yeah, that won't work.
Wow. But the beauty in that was, if there's a good, valid reason to become a work-at-home nurse entrepreneur, that was it, right? And I just thought that was so beautiful to see. But so for people who don't know you already, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and what your business is all about.
Yeah, so my name is Kara. I've been in the online world space for almost 2 years now, kind of just doing some pivoting and some let's see if this works and if that works, and being able to stay at home with my kiddos so that I don't have to go back to work only if I want to, right? So that's been the biggest goal here, is being able to find a passion of mine and turn it into an income while also making an impact, right, on everybody else. And so, I guess I've been a nurse since 2015 and a mom since 2010. So a lot longer I've been a mom, but the nurse aspect has been a really good part of my life, and I love it. So I don't know what else you want to know. Got 6 kids. We live in Alaska, like you said. We moved here about 3 years ago. Yeah. Incredible. I don't know.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Would you ever have dreamed that you'd live in Alaska?
No. My husband is a big hunter, fisher, outdoors guy, and we've talked about it on and off for a few years before we actually moved. And it was always just a pipe dream, right? Like, that sounds fun. And he's kind of if he's going to commit to something, he's got to do it. And we just decided to do it. And I was like, I guess we're really doing this, right? We had 5 kids at the time.
Wow.
So we packed up our 6x12 trailer, got rid of everything else, and left Minnesota and moved to Alaska. So It's been an adventure for sure.
That is an adventure. I got to tell you, I love seeing all those pictures of you and your family. It's just so beautiful. Absolutely, it is a beautiful
gorgeous
there.
State.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so tell us a little bit. You've been in the online space now for a couple of years. What was your life like working as an RN before you kind of let go of the side of the pool and started exploring the world of nurse entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so I guess why I became a nurse even in the first place was to help moms with breastfeeding. And then once I got into the nursing world, I was like, well, that's not exactly what I want to do. And I started kind of going down the different pathways of, I was in long-term care, and then I was in hospital care, and then I switched to a different hospital. And each hospital was different that I worked at too. And one was really team oriented and was great to work at. And the next one was not so great. And even the long-term care facility was it was a sign-on bonus. I had my first year of being an RN, I was literally the floor lead in this 4-wing. I don't even know how many beds it was off the top of my head, but say it's 80 beds, 20 down each wing. And I was on the TCU, the transitional care unit mostly, which was a lot of pain management. And then of course, the IVs and things like that.
Oh my.
And I just remember going to work and never sitting down, like never sitting down. And I was like, is this what nursing is going to be like for the rest of my life? And it wasn't actually, but it was just my first experience that I was like, I need to find something different. I can't do this for the rest of my mom and work life. So we found that next hospital job and it was much, much better. I loved that hospital job. And I went to the next one. It was like, it was all right. But essentially is like the nursing world was very much like you're on your own. You got to, you have to figure it out yourself. And
yeah,
it was, I don't know, not what I expected nursing to be and what I expected my life to look like as a nurse and a mom. And when we moved, I had already gone casual with number 5. We had number 5. I went casual because I'm like, I just can't do this anymore. Like I'm tired. I'm trying to keep up a house, 5 kids. So I'd already went casual before we moved to Alaska. And then that was kind of the tipping point when we moved that I'm not going back to work. I'm going to figure something else out.
Wow.
And so that's, where I've been.
So probably it's, 5 children, now 6 children. And I'm sure it's had its ups and downs. I'm sure it's had challenges that, anybody would experience in business, but especially when your business at home, the challenges are different when your business is
very much different. Yeah.
Especially with 5 littles. I know the mom effect. So,
so yes.
Last fall we had chatted, and since then your business has taken a different direction. Tell us a little bit about what that has been like, because I think there's a lot of aspiring nurse entrepreneurs and even young nurse entrepreneurs who feel like, I started this thing and I'm feeling like it's just not quite right, or maybe it's totally not right and I just need to do something else. But I feel like a lot of times we lock ourselves in, we kind of box ourselves in saying, this is what I said I was doing, so I need to do this. I'm stuck with this thing.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about what that was like for you.
Yeah. So I guess when I started doing the online stuff, it was kind of already with the mom nurse, right? So I was going to help nurses figure out what they wanted to do from home, but it wasn't taking the turn I wanted. So I pivoted early in the beginning, and I went to the postpartum mom stuff where I was going to help with, teaching the moms how to, breastfeed, right? So postpartum, you got to learn how to breastfeed, how to take care of your newborn, how to take care of yourself too. So I have like a whole online course about that, and just everything was built around that in the last, I don't know, year or so. And then I just was like, this isn't really what I was, I don't know, wanting, and maybe just wasn't going where I wanted it to. And so I pivoted again, and I went back to the mom nurse stuff in a different, I don't know how to even explain it, but in a different light of, I'm going to help nurses that are moms that want to be able to stay home with their kids, see what there is out there for them, because I didn't know that I could even take a remote position. Like, I didn't know I could go look for a nursing position from home. I didn't know that there was all these opportunities now that are available to nurses that you can work from home. Healthcare writing, graphic design, video editing, virtual assisting. Like, there's so many opportunities that I wanted to be able to show other nurses what is available to them and expand their mindsets of what they can do so that they can be home and make money from home. So that's kind of where my business now is. And my group has been taking off. Like, my Facebook group is just like, it's amazing how many nurses that are moms are like, I'm looking for something to do to stay home with my kids. So
I love that. I love that. So you're really, you're serving as kind of a point of entry for a lot of moms in your same situation who are looking for something different.
Yeah.
And, whether that be inside nursing or outside of nursing, just whatever it is, it sounds like they can find resources in your group and community. Is that right?
Yes, lots of resources for sure. And community. Yeah.
I love that. And, I am very fond of saying or encouraging people to dare to do nursing differently.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, we have been so confined to traditional nursing roles that now more than ever, we need to be able to think creatively and look how we can use our skills in different ways. So I just love that you're doing that in your
Absolutely.
group, kind of shining a
Yeah.
light on all of those things. So yay
Yeah. Like, look
you.
at what's here. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So um, is there one piece of advice that you would share with any nurse or aspiring nurse entrepreneur about getting started? Is there anything you would say to them?
I would say is, like you said, don't box yourself in. Like, right. There's so many opportunities, but yet you want to be able to focus too, because focus for me it's, even though it's hard, you have to be able to get that message clear so that people know what you're talking about and what you're doing. Because when you are pivoting a lot, that's what I've done a lot, is that nobody knows what
Mhm.
you're actually doing. Like, oh, okay, now she's doing that. Now she's doing that. But once I got clear on like, yeah, this is actually what I'm doing, and I love this part of it,
Mhm.
that's when I became like, my group started growing and things are like actually happening, right? So
Mhm.
getting more clear is definitely a piece of advice I would have, is especially in the online space where there's so much noise, you need to be very clear on what your message is so that people know you're talking to them.
Oh,
And
love
yeah,
that.
just keeping your heart in it, because if your heart's not in it, then your people will know. Your people will know.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. If you don't buy into it yourself, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's not much likelihood that that's gonna be real successful. I
Yeah.
love that you're sharing that though, and I know for me personally, there have been times that I've been involved with network marketing. I love network marketing,
Hmm.
and so sometimes I feel like people look at me and say, "Ah, what's she doing now?" Because
Right.
I I have always been blessed with a lot of different opportunities, and when I can, I take them.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I just thought, oh goodness, people are going to think I'm that nurse that doesn't ever stay at a job. And my husband always
Hmm.
says, in my opinion, it looks like a very well-rounded nurse with a lot of varied experiences.
I
But
love
only
that too,
once have I
because
heard that from a nursing recruiter, and it was actually, yeah, not very long ago. That she's, oh, you look like a girl after my own heart. And I'm just like, well, thankfully somebody.
well, and that's where the income streams come in, right? Because you can have multi passions, right? And being able to
Yes,
have, different things that you love and create an income from it. I love that too.
exactly.
Um, I think though the biggest thing is like, start with one thing and then build the next thing, because I have
Mhm.
had where I'm like, I want to build it all at once, right? So
Yeah,
then that's where it
yeah.
gets muddy in my own head too, is what am I actually doing here? So maybe
Yeah.
that's actually what I mean, is like getting one built and then the next and then the
Hmm.
next, because
Hmm.
you can have multi passions like your MLMs or your nursing businesses, the CEUs.
Yeah.
Having multiple income streams, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm an advocate for having multiple income streams for sure.
Same, same. Oh, yeah. I love, love, love that. So, how
Yeah.
can people connect with you? Where can they find you?
Yeah. So they can search the Mom Nurse Entrepreneur. I think that's what it's called. The Mom Nurse Entrepreneur Group on Facebook, and or they can find me at themomnurse.com is my website. So
Okay. Well, awesome. Awesome. And are there any offerings or anything that they need to be aware of right now, or just the opportunity to join your group to learn more? Is that right?
yeah, so there, for sure, the group, join the Facebook group if you want to find out different opportunities available to you, to see what's out there. And then also I have it's a free e-course that I created for expanding your mindset, and like it's called the Nurse Dreamer course. So
Oh,
it's
love
expanding your
that.
mindset, and really just, that's like the core piece of it, is learning what is available to you and opening up your eyes to see what is there. Because if there's not an open mind, you're not going to see the opportunities to you. So
I
yeah.
love that. Yeah. Yeah. It's so true that we can definitely get in our own way, our
Hmm.
old brain. I taught a class once that was just something about why you can't get a new result with your old brain. If we
Right.
if we're stuck with thinking the same old way, we're just not going to get anywhere. So
Yeah,
mindset
no, we're
is
not.
huge, and I would encourage anybody to hop into that Nurse Dreamer complimentary e-course. That sounds amazing. So, Kara, I want to thank you again for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, but thank you for joining us today on the
Yes,
Nurse
and thanks for
Entrepreneur.
having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us here today. And we will see you again on the next episode, everybody. Bye.
Bye.